It's time to check in on Prop 12 implications in California. We're going to talk about a disaster declaration here in Arkansas and much more on today's episode of the Arkansas AgCast, which starts right now.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
Oh, yeah, it's Friday.
Is it that time?
Yep, it is that time. We're a day late, so it's past that time.
Things happen.
You know, sometimes we get busy around here.
Yes.
Things are happening. Things are going on. And Lord knows right now, maybe we're traveling.
Yes.
And so we just have to delay it today.
Like I said.
Things happen. You said that, didn't you? I could have saved a lot of time.
You could have if you just listened to me for once.
We did, though, go ahead and throw out the deep dive with Tyler.
Yes.
They're talking about H-2A wage requirements yesterday. So we did technically put out a show yesterday.
Yeah, gave a little more detail on that subject.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Certainly has been of interest lately. I know after we published that Ag Insider and talked about that on this show last week or week before, we got a call from Democrat Gazette, and they said, "Oh, that's pretty interesting. Let's talk about that more." So we were able to do that, which was a great opportunity to get that in front of more eyeballs.
Tyler was in the paper.
He was, and then I noticed in their editorial section on the 19th, they actually published an editorial on this topic in addition to the article.
Good.
So I need to share that around too. But yeah, anyway. What's going on? It's Friday.
It's Friday.
It's raining.
It's raining finally.
That's
I'm sure my yard is just happy as it could be.
Buddy, I went over there last night. I'm like, I'm going to roll this dice. And I flipped that sprinkler off and said, let's see what happens. And then about 4 o'clock this morning, I got woke up by thunder.
I've been really lazy this week. I have not watered my yard at all. I'm just kind of staring at the sky. Come on, please.
I'm at that like, what's it really matter? They say if it's still in the 60s at night,
You should water.
I mean, that's when you should start.
Okay.
Like if you're, when it starts, staying in the 60s at night, early spring.
Yeah.
So I figure, well, it's still in the 60s right now. Maybe I should still keep this up.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of calling it quits.
I know.
For the year.
I'm right there too.
As much as I want to.
Yeah. Well, you can hardly see any of the grass because all the leaves.
Yeah,
in my yard,
sure.
for one.
My yard's not looking good though, man. It's hurting.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I just think about all the rain we're going to get in the winter, and I want there to be something there to slow that water down. Erosion mitigation, I guess.
If you want to talk about erosion, just go look at my backyard. It's pretty bad,
buddy.
I don't have any good news about my yard, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, we still deal with it.
I need to be.
We took a big project under 2 years ago for erosion mitigation. I called the guys back last year, and they're like, "Oh, there's a lot more water here than we thought there was."
Yeah.
So anyway, well, it's been a busy week, as we said. We're a day late, but we're here, and we've put out 2 shows this week. So we're trying to make up for it, or we will have today. Trying to make up for it. I got the opportunity to travel to Benton County on Tuesday for a pretty cool event up there.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, you can see, I think ArkansasOutside.com has published a story about this. I know Axios was also going to publish a story about it. I haven't seen that yet. And we've got a video coming out this morning, I believe, also. But this is kind of a first of its kind event up there where we had Benton County Farm Bureau team up with a cycling association, the Arkansas R3 project, which is the Respect Rural Roads campaign you've probably seen or heard us talk about in the past. Yeah. And so it's pretty cool. They had Wes Evans up there invited, and Benton County Farm Bureau invited cyclists to come out to his farm and learn a little bit about farming, have a meal, just spend some time on the farm. So they put this out there for cyclists to
How many do you think showed up?
sign up. They had 280, I think, RSVPs, and they were close to that out there. I'm telling you, there were over 200 cyclists out there.
Pictures I saw had a lot of bicycles in it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see these bikes like leaned up on the barbed wire fence or whatever, and there's some good photos
Power
of them
poles.
riding in right next to a mama cow and her baby, and I don't know, it's just really cool. They seem to enjoy it. I know Benton County Farm Bureau cooked. They partnered up with Double J Farms, I believe, and Simmons Foods. They cooked over 500 pounds of protein and fed everybody.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's just a cool event. So we'll have a video out on that. But it's really important to see these two sort of communities come together. Really, it started by road safety.
Yeah.
Thinking about how to keep cyclists safe on the road, how to keep farmers safe on the road. Simmons talked a little bit about the 18-wheelers that they move in and out of their facilities, often traveling down rural roads, and gave some pointers and tips for cyclists to, sort of help navigate that. Anyway, it was a cool event. And I've got something for you. We made a cool sticker that says "I brake for farmers."
Yeah,
that cyclists
that's pretty
could
cool.
take and put on their equipment or water bottle or whatever that may be. So I need to get you one though.
Yeah, you
They're
should.
pretty cool.
Put one on this water bottle here on the table.
Oh yeah, there we go. Anyway, we've got a long list, so I'm just going to keep it moving. And y'all stop me, or if you hear something that sounds
Go for it, man.
crazy. Arkansas Ag Hall of Fame nominations are open. This is something that happens every year. But just wanted to remind you guys that the deadline to submit someone for that is November 1st, and you can submit that nomination at arkansasaghalloffame.org. So all the information you need is there on the website, arkansasaghalloffame.org.
Yeah, I always like that event. It seems like there's always the awardees are always very deserving, but you can tell they really, really appreciate the notice for the work they've done throughout their career.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great thing to have.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and our team always plays some role in that as well. Let me see here. Just a reminder that the Ag Department's Fire Smart app is out there. This launched last year. We talked about it on the show. I believe we had a session on it at our state convention last year. This is just an app that offers row crop producers and forest landowners a way to check conditions and report prescribed burns. Very helpful as we move through harvest season on the row crop side. Very helpful right now with some of the dry conditions that we've had in the state, which hopefully we're getting some relief from. But anyway, the Fire Smart app from the Arkansas Ag Department. Just again, remember that's out there. Download it, use it.
That'd be a great tool to have.
Cool. It's pretty neat. I got to sit in the session where we walked through that, and I'm telling you, it was pretty cool. Let me see here. Do you want to go over any of this?
I can.
Yeah, that would be helpful because I'm seeing that the crop quality and harvest updates are next.
Get a little winded.
Yeah, man, I am. I'm tired.
So a few events on the calendar coming up. UAPB Agriculture Farm Field Day is coming up. It's on next Friday, September 29th. It starts at 8:30 and it'll go till noon, and it's located at their Lone Oak Farm. I'm sure they're going to go over a wide array of things, but I'm pretty sure their aquaculture facilities are there in Lone Oak too. Yeah. They used to have a testing lab there, and I'm pretty sure this is something they always do around September, October.
Yeah.
So it should be a pretty good event. Also, remember the Arkansas State Fair is coming up October 13th to the 22nd. You'll probably see a lot of us down there.
Yes, absolutely.
Specifically with the livestock show. It's always a really good event, very well attended. I know Jake Cartwright's getting prepped up for the Purple Circle. That's always a big deal.
Our own Austin Lester, I think he runs that swine barn
he does.
out there. We'll probably go out and taste some food.
We'll be doing fair food
Yeah.
and stuff,
I hope that we includes me.
Absolutely, it can. Matter of fact, it might should.
It should. I think
You're having a snack now.
I've been
Look at
holding out
you.
on you guys.
Look at you
you
over
eating, a
there having a
Pop-Tart?
snack.
You know, wasn't it you that said you hated when people eat on the
I
radio?
do.
This one's for you.
There's a certain radio station.
Well,
here
we
in
had
town
Matthew
where-
on. We had Matthew on a few weeks ago, and he had his
Yeah.
coffee, and
Oh yeah.
then he just
Yeah.
kept talking.
There you go.
Man,
It's Friday. You know,
Hey.
in
know,
the
it's like
in
the
the
senior lap of the week.
kind of, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We had a little
don't
bit of
care
a false
anymore.
start here in the spirit of football for the
Yeah, we
weekend.
did.
So I kind of, I knew I was going to bring the food out and stuff, so I kind of messed up a little bit on the beginning. I do
well,
make
it's
mistakes.
funny.
So,
It's
Yeah.
fine. We
Not
really
as
enjoy
many as
food
us,
here on
I
this
can
podcast, so it's okay.
Yeah.
so anyway,
Just don't let it
I
happen.
I
again.
won't eat the whole time.
Just some of the time.
I
some of the
just
time.
wanted you to
Just-
see that before you know.
I want to say something.
Say
well,
it.
I like a Pop-Tart.
Do you?
Yeah, I
Have
do.
you had a s'mores Pop-Tart?
Mm-mm.
Man, you need to.
No,
travel
we
down
were
that path.
we were standing the Pop-Tart out at the grocery store the other day. My daughter, and I was like, "What flavor is your favorite?" And I think she said strawberry, but I like the cinnamon sugar. Now
cinnamon
I
brown
don't
sugar?
indulge in
Really
a
good.
Pop-Tart maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
But man,
Yeah.
sometimes it just hits the spot, and you've got me thinking about them over there.
There's another one over here if you want it.
no,
So-
no, no. Thank you.
So you
I've
won't
had a
eat through the whole
smoothie.
show. You'll just eat until you're done eating them.
I think it served its purpose now. So that's,
Yeah, exactly. It's here for rhetoric.
Hot take: Pop-Tart or toaster strudel?
Oh, I had one too. We'll
Yeah.
go with this one first. That's a good one. I'll tell you something. I can't believe I'm going to admit this. I love toaster strudel.
Yeah,
I hate trying to get that icing out of the package.
yeah, that's kind of a pain.
That actually might push me towards Pop Tart.
So do you?
And this is going to happen at least once.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, that's so hot it's burning my
Oh,
mouth.
yeah.
And then you take
Like
the
hot
next
lava.
bite and you're like, oh, that's still frozen right there in
Right.
that area. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah.
I can't cook
Yeah.
them right.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. Then you realize you have half of it on your shirt
Well, there's
after you're
that.
done with it.
see there, I've derailed us.
You have,
You're
but that's
welcome.
okay because we just dove right into the information.
We did.
and
You know.
actually, that was bothering me.
It's Friday, so
We should be having fun on this show.
I just wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. We can put the Pop Tart to bed.
Okay.
Toasted or
No,
not
I
toasted
knew
Pop
this
Tart?
is my
Oh.
question.
Oh,
Okay, so
it was mine now.
did you answer the strudel?
No,
Or did you
I
just
didn't.
propose that
I just
question?
proposed it.
I don't know that any of us answered. I'm gonna go Pop Tart for ease.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
For ease, yeah,
Yeah.
Pop Tart.
Yeah.
And toasted or untoasted
Yeah,
depends on the day. But
Yeah,
you know,
interesting.
I tried to put it on top of the warm coffee thing like you do on the plane.
Yeah,
It didn't work.
Didn't
My
work.
coffee wasn't hot enough.
like your biscotti cookie.
yeah, yeah.
What do you say to that?
A toasted s'mores Pop Tart.
Okay.
That's where
It-
it's at. The
Okay.
rest of them, it doesn't have to be.
It depends on the Pop Tart
Yeah.
entirely
Yeah.
because some of
I
them
think we could
don't
write
taste.
an
Oh, the
agriculture on
flavor.
this.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
It is.
Interesting.
Yeah, and whether it's frosted or not frosted,
Mm.
because I don't
Okay.
like putting the frosted ones in the toaster. You know.
Yeah.
Toaster or oven?
Oh, now here we go.
I don't.
Toaster
By the
or
way,
whatever.
I didn't answer.
Once again, we're
Uh,
about to have a podcast entirely
raw.
about Pop Tarts. So
Raw Pop
Raw,
Tart.
raw for me. I like my Pop Tarts raw. I don't. Maybe twice. I don't know
Yeah.
if I've even had 3 times in my life have I had a hot Pop Tart
yeah,
or
Yeah.
a warm Pop Tart.
Interesting.
I've
Well-
also never had because you see these popular now at bakeries the homemade Pop Tart.
mm-hmm.
I've seen
Never
that
had
on
one.
the
I
internet.
could-
People doing
I'm
that.
scared to eat it. I'm like that might be too
Yeah.
good. I like my regular Pop Tart out of the
There
package.
you go.
You
All
got
right,
me
so
thinking
y'all
of-
like them toasted, depending on flavor.
Depending on flavor, but 9 times out of 10,
It's just
straight out of the
out
package.
of the package.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I like
more
that.
often than not, you're
It's
probably
all-
gonna eat it right out of the package.
Usually, because when I'm going for it, I'm ready to have one right then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next podcast, you got to report back about having a s'mores Pop Tart.
S'mores Pop Tart. I'll go grab some.
Okay.
Seriously. Think I got a Kroger list running right
All right,
now.
we got 2 more things on the calendar.
Oh,
Then we can
okay.
get
Well,
to the
we're
news.
still doing the calendar. Okay.
The Pop Tart.
Well, the
calendar.
food, we were talking about fair food, and that's what got us.
Hey, what about a deep fried Pop Tart?
Oh, I've never had
I
that.
hadn't either. That just popped in my head. Pop-Tart.
It sounds like fair food.
Yeah, it does.
It does. All right. What other 2 meetings do we have?
All right, the 2023 Arkansas Farm Bureau State Resolutions Committee meetings start November 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
They'll be in Hot Springs, right?
Yep.
I think registration's at 8:30, and the meeting will start around 9, or all the meetings. Also, the Arkansas Farm Bureau 89th Annual Convention is November 29th through December 1st here in Little Rock at the State House Convention Center downtown. Also, our farmers market will be there.
I was gonna ask.
We're going. We've already reached out to all the winners or awardees, if you will, and notified whether or not they were awarded a spot. Be looking out on social media for an announcement on who those people are.
Yeah.
We're going to try to spotlight those individuals and do anything.
Oh, it's like a lead up to.
lead up to the convention to kind of just make them feel important because they should be, right?
Can we say how many did we choose? Can I ask that question?
Yeah, so we had a little over 80, almost 90. I mean, let's just call it 100 if you want to make it sound good.
Boy, you went up real quick for an economist.
Yeah, well, I know how to work the numbers. But we from that, we were only able to choose 30. So it was a very, very difficult decision. There was a lot of good entries. I mean, every single one of them, if we had room, we probably would have selected all of them.
Yeah.
But
that's still a really strong market. I mean, 30 vendors.
30 is huge, yeah.
And we're not even talking about the trade show, right? This is completely
This
separate.
is a section off of it's in the trade show, but it's a section of the trade show. And just the criteria for whether we awarded individuals or we didn't, we wanted to have a good diversification of products being offered.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also it kind of came down to how well you presented or marketed your product. So, the very minimum was no website or Facebook page. Then the very extreme, there was Facebook, there was Twitter, there's Instagram, there's standalone website, traffic, So there was, but again, there was a lot of stuff. There was a handful, probably 10 or 20 of them that we wanted to include, but we just couldn't.
Yeah.
So that cutoff line was pretty difficult.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
On.
Is there a unique product that you think, like, even without naming, that would, like, because it's not just food, so it could be other items, right?
There were, I think there's like a handful of people that are selling freeze-dried items.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And like you would, initially I went to freeze-dried like fruit, vegetables, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But there's people freeze-drying Skittles and Starburst and like all sorts of random stuff.
Interesting.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would think about fruit, really. I probably wouldn't even get to vegetables.
But, we've got crafts, and I think there's some people with some actual fresh produce that are going to be there. There'll be somebody with bison. So we've got some protein.
Man. Are we
animal protein?
We're farming bison in the state?
Yes.
Do you know this place?
I was just going to say kudos to Jay Brown for trying to get you to say one of the vendors.
I know. You see how I was working on him there.
No, I'm smarter than the average bear. I know his tactics.
Yeah.
So
well, this sounds cool.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah, and then also at the State Convention Center is the Ag Mechanic Competition.
Yep.
So I think that'll be a pretty good show, and then I think we're also going to have a live show there at the State Convention. So
you're bringing door prizes for that.
We're going to be headlining
the event. You're gonna give out door prizes
and free signatures yet again. Autographs.
We'll be opening the Christmas presents that Matthew buys each of us.
Oh, how exciting!
Remember, we assigned him to buy all the Christmas gifts. So anyway, there's just a ton going on.
All sorts of stuff. I'm excited. I won't be busy at all. So
yeah,
I'll be able to enjoy myself.
Well, I can smell those spiced pecans now.
Yeah, there was
which are always a staple of the.
There's gonna be a lot of baked goods. I'm kind of excited about that too. So
I love a baked good. If you can't tell by looking at it. All right, well, good deal. So
what
that's
about crop quality.
So that's a calendar of events. If you can remember any of that, considering how many sidebars we had, we hope to see you there at one or all of those events. All right, yeah. So let's talk crop quality and harvest updates. We skipped this last week because we were talking about the WASDE, but we're back on it this week. If you missed it, what we had to say about the WASDE report, you can go back and listen to last week's episode. That'll certainly be in the feed. which is our email newsletter that goes out today. You can find that on social media, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you want to listen. All right, the state corn crop is nearly 75% harvested. This was as of Tuesday, so surely we jumped ahead of that this weekend in anticipation of the late week rain. Nearly 25% jump over last week, and we're trending right along right now with the 5-year average. Looking at rice, we've harvested about 40% of the state's acres, with the total crop headed out and 83% mature. We're barely behind last year and a bit more behind the 5-year, but the crop quality looks great at almost 3/4 in the good to excellent rating. Soybeans are 9% harvested, still a bit behind last year in the 5-year. 68% of the crop is coloring and another 44% dropping leaves. The crop is in decent condition with about 58% rated good to excellent. We've got another 30% rated as fair. Once this rice and corn is out, we'll see growers pivot to soybean harvest, no doubt. Cotton is almost completely opened up in the state, and harvest is officially on the board with 1% done. My guess is that this is in the southeastmost corner of the state, probably. We're slightly behind the 5-year, but ahead of last year still on cotton. With the crop, and the crop's looking to be in good shape with 65% rated good to excellent. We'll wrap up with peanuts today with nearly 3/4 of the crop rated good to excellent. Growers probably happy with the crop, although I've read a bit about this split crop that they dealt with last year and then this year.
Really?
Yeah, it's where the crop is basically ready in 2 phases. And the way peanut harvest usually works is once you're ready to harvest, you pull them out of the ground and lay them on top of the ground for several days to dry out, and then you come back and pick them up. Well, apparently part of the issue is that they're not all ready to come out of the ground at the same time. So you have to go in and get your first phase of the crop out, lay it out to dry, go back and get the second phase of the crop out, lay it out to dry, and then ideally you would go back and pick all of them up at the same time. The trouble is, from what I read, the first phase, the crop that you pull out of the ground first could rot. You've got risk of rotting while they lay there waiting for the second phase to dry out.
So this would be like in an individual field. You have part of the field ready and part of it's not.
I think so. I know at least half of what you're growing. So maybe that's in the same field. Maybe that's 2 fields. Frankly, I'm not real sure about the science there.
Yeah.
When I was reading, Travis Foskey with the university was talking about this issue. But I think it becomes really an efficiency, again, a risk of that crop rotting, So anyway, kind of a challenge there. Apparently something we dealt with last year as well. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. But good news is right now, like I said, 3/4 of the crop is rated good to excellent. Harvest actually has started with 2% dug. That's that process where they pull it out and lay it on the ground to dry.
Yep.
Which means that all row crop harvest has officially begun in the state. I think peanuts were, and I think cotton was on the board. 1% done. So everything has started right now.
I'm surprised soybeans are only 9%.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not in the field every day, so.
I was in Monroe County the other day just driving through, and it looked like, a lot of those beans are ready or close.
Yeah.
So I figure by the time they get rice done, like we were saying.
And you're in kind of a situation now, what you said, the corn crop is 75% harvested. So you've got guys that are taking corn headers off because rice is ready.
Yeah.
But then they've got a field of corn that's not, what do you get out first?
Yeah.
It's kind of a decision situation, kind of like with the peanuts.
Yeah, right. So my guess is if corn was at 75% in Tuesday's report, my guess is by now it's 85%.
Probably.
I have no science to back that up. I'm just saying, knowing that we were going to get rain chances today and Sunday. Actually, I think Sunday we're going to have more rain than we're getting today. My guess is they were really racing to get corn wrapped up.
That'll be a big push before the weather.
Anyway, all of this set aside, let's talk river levels for a minute. this is a bad situation that has really gotten worse this
No
week.
bueno.
I don't think the rain that we're going to get is enough to really make us a dent in the problem.
Not at all.
We reported the basis impacts last week. This week, we've seen some elevators turning grain deliveries away. I have seen countless reports of 7 hours, 5 hours at the elevator waiting.
Man.
And some of that's just harvest, but like at the same time with these basis issues the way they are, I mean, we dealt with this last year, but so far we're actually in worse shape and the problem is intensifying. So this is something that we'll probably be updating really soon with a video story. We'll certainly talk about it here on the podcast, but I mean, we're in the dollars and cents impact.
This is starting to sound. Yeah, we did. I think this was technically our first Ag Insider last year. Well, we had plans to follow this up, so this is not to speak as like it's good material because it's a bad situation,
right?
But man, this is 2 years in a row. This isn't good.
I think for folks to be able to understand the basis impacts, and where you're going to be if you don't have storage.
Yes,
I think that would be. I know it's tough. We wish we didn't have to cover it, but I think it's important news.
Yes, it's very important. I mean, I saw a video the other day. Somebody, if you get to a point, you got to start tarping your grain on the ground. And I saw a video of the day they would packed it too much, and that whole tarp just tore right down the top.
Yeah.
Just all sorts of problems that
That's
are going
bad news.
Come with this.
Yeah.
With its basis, or you not be able to store it, or I don't know. I'm kind of lost for words, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, well, good. I'm glad to hear you are thinking about that.
Yeah, and Tyler told me the other day that he had heard somewhere in the White River. I don't know if it's Bungie on the White River or who. They're not taking any in right now at all.
Yeah,
they stopped this week.
Yeah, so it's a tough deal. So, and that was Monday, I think, because I think we may have been in the same conversation.
Probably. Lots happened since then.
Anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to dig into some news here?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's go for it.
So, as our listeners know all too well, we often talk about the simplest concept in economics.
Yes.
Supply and
demand.
demand. Yeah. And currently the state of California is kind of an example of this concerning Proposition 12.
Okay.
Due to that.
Okay.
So just this week, Hannah Hawkins of Texas A&M University wrote a great article on Southern Ag Today about the impact of Proposition 12 and what it's having on the fresh pork supply in California right now, or supply chain. If you remember, California's Proposition 12, which set production standards for pork sold in California, officially came into effect on July 1st. This animal welfare law sets the requirement that all uncooked pork sold in the state must come from the offspring of sows that are kept in pens with at least 24 square feet of space. It goes without saying that a lot of operations across the country that raise pigs do not meet this requirement. So it's very difficult at the moment to try to, I think the sunset period on this is into December. Yeah. So financially it's going to be tough for some of these producers to continue to sell into the state of California.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like I said, this has led producers in the major pork producing states such as the Plains states and Corn Belt states, as well as North Carolina, to decide if it's economically feasible to meet Proposition 12 requirements or to discontinue supplying the state of California altogether. Just to shoot some numbers at you, according to Hawkins, California accounts for 14% of the U.S. pork consumption.
Wow.
But at the same time, only accounts for less than 2% of pork production. So they don't produce a whole lot of their pork, but their demand is really high.
Yeah.
So given there's such a high demand in the state with such small production numbers in California, market has seen a tremendous increase in the price of fresh pork and the decrease of the number of sales of pork. Hawkins states that the pork ribs and pork loin are the top two consumed fresh pork items within the state, and by the end of July, prices surged 25% and 45% respectively. Just to compare, for the entire U.S., average sales prices were 6.4% higher and 5% lower during the same period of time.
My goodness.
As you can imagine, with such dramatic price increases, sales have begun falling. The total volume of pork purchased in California decreased by 23% from June 2023 to August 2023. Normally, sales of pork in the state stay similar to national sales volumes, but clearly Proposition 12 has had a detrimental impact on consumers in California that are trying to consume
Cook
pork.
those ribs. Yeah.
Hawkins also reminds readers that Massachusetts has also enacted a similar law. These laws are clearly having an impact on consumers in the state of California, but nonetheless, they are destined to impact producers across the country.
Yeah.
And if this kind of this type of law gains momentum, you're probably going to see other states push for this as well.
Yeah.
And I guess the question here: do producers, change their production practices, their infrastructure? How much of an impact is that going to have financially on them?
Yeah. Is that even feasible?
Man, imagine if they pull out of California altogether or Massachusetts.
Be running pork.
Yeah.
On the back roads.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't know. That's a tough situation because, the consumer and the producer are losing here.
Yes. Absolutely.
Honestly. All right. Well, let's play a little bit of catch up here from the summer storms. But help is on the way for several Arkansas counties that were impacted by weather in June and July.
Okay.
On September 5th, again, this news is a little old, but honestly, I didn't see it until this week. So
I saw this week too.
Yeah, I thought it'd be important to bring this up. The USDA designated 7 Arkansas counties as primary disaster areas due to tornadoes, high wind, hail, lightning, and excessive rain that occurred in the state from June 7th to July 14th this year. The primary counties designated as disaster areas are Ashley, Conway, Mississippi, Monroe, Pope, Prairie, and Stone counties. In addition, USDA designated 26 Arkansas counties as contiguous disaster counties.
Mm-hmm.
We won't go through that list, but in response to the designation, the U.S. Small Business Administration announced that economic injury disaster loans are available to Arkansas small non-farm businesses, small agricultural cooperatives, small businesses engaged in aquaculture, and most private nonprofit organizations in all 33 counties listed. Though these low-interest federal disaster loans are for economic losses because of reduced revenues caused by the extreme weather.
Yep.
And you can certainly learn more or apply for assistance at disasterloanassistance.sba.gov. That's disasterloanassistance.sba.gov.
Cool. Well, so the contiguous counties of Ashley, Conway, Mississippi, Monroe, Pope, Prairie, Stone. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those are counties that border those specific counties, right?
I think so. So So
that
you've
also
got
qualify.
the primary counties that we listed there, and then the other 26.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's some assistance out there in the form of low interest loans that could be helpful to you.
Yeah.
Agriculture or not, or otherwise rather. So
we've had a lot of weather events. So
man,
big assistance.
amen.
Big help.
I know. Honestly, it's kind of surprised to not see Pulaski listed in one of the primary counties, just because of what we saw happen out here with that microburst.
Yeah,
and some of the impacts in already affected tornado ridden areas.
Yeah, there was a area here in Little Rock I drove by the other day that got hit really hard with a tornado, and that little microburst that hit knocked down a house that was being rebuilt.
It's right down the street from some friends of ours. They had just gotten the outside section of their home redone and got hit again.
Yeah.
And
terrible.
if you drive down there, I
drive through it every morning.
Yeah. It's awful. So, all right, well, let's take a short break from the news. Have you considered running for public office? No, I'm not. What?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to say yes. No, I'm talking to the listeners, not you. So we've got some great news. Registration is now open for our How to Win an Election seminar. You've probably heard us say that before.
That's right. The seminar teaches how to evaluate the candidate in the electorate, build a campaign structure, raise money, and how to get voter attention, plus much more. Fun fact, Jason.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. According to the American Farm Bureau, candidates who have gone through the program have a 75% winning percentage.
Oh, that sounds like it's worth it. The seminar takes place right here at our office on October 17th and 18th. and registration is already open. It only costs $225 to attend, and that includes the classes and meals during the program. To learn more or register, just go to ARFB.com and search How to Win an Election. But you better get signed up because registration closes October 13th, and that's right around the corner. All right, well, let's get back to the news. How
Let's
about
do it.
All right, some interesting news from the Ag Department this week, helping our friends to the south. Actually, our opponents this week, I guess, if you think about it like that.
It's Tigers.
Governor Sanders has authorized a crew of 6 wildland firefighters from the Arkansas Department of Ag's Forestry Division to assist the state of Louisiana with their ongoing wildfire suppression efforts. Approximately 40,000 acres of wildland fire have impacted the state of Louisiana, and a third of the state continues to experience extreme drought conditions. Forestry Division employees are being mobilized as part of the South Central Interstate Forest Fire Protection Compact. The compact enables participating state forestry agencies to send wildland firefighting resources and personnel across state lines to assist with wildfire suppression. The 6-person crew coming from Arkansas will assist the Tiger Island Fire, will assist with the Tiger Island Fire for 2 weeks beginning this week. The primary role of the crew will be to check out and maintain existing fire breaks. The Forestry Division will also send trucks and ATVs with water tanks to assist with the wildfire response efforts. Previously, the governor authorized 2 UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters from the Arkansas National Guard's 77th Theater Aviation Brigade to assist with wildfire suppression efforts. And now we've got human capital going down to help fight this. So
That's good.
Important. Glad we can help out. You know, feel like Louisiana always sends electric utility crews when we have
Absolutely.
storms and things like that. So it's nice to have that relationship to share some resources.
Helping each other out when needed.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we got one more for you.
All right, let's do it.
So foreign land ownership is back in the news with 10 more states passing laws in 2023.
Oh, interesting.
The issue of restricting foreign investments and ownership of U.S. land has been a heavily discussed issue amongst our membership here at Arkansas Farm Bureau, but as well as across the entire country.
Yeah.
During the 2023 legislative session, the topic emerged in most of states. In an article published in Southern Ag Today, Micah Brown of the National Agricultural Law Center stated that the reemergence of the issue is mostly due to the purchase of land near U.S. Air Force bases in Texas and North Dakota by 2 Chinese-owned companies.
Oh.
The issue is gaining momentum, and also in 2022, there were only 14 states that specifically limited or restricted foreign individuals, foreign business entities, and or foreign governments from acquiring or owning an interest in farmland within their state. Currently, there are 24 states with such laws, so a pretty big jump there from last year.
Yeah.
In 2023, there were 10 states that enacted new laws restricting foreign ownership of land, and there were 2 states, Oklahoma and North Dakota, who amended their existing laws that prohibit certain foreign purchases of land. Brown also mentions that that amongst the 24 states, laws vary widely.
Okay.
And some states restrict only certain purchases. His example in the article was the majority of foreign ownership laws enacted in 2023 seek to restrict investments from specific countries, particularly China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia.
Okay.
As you can tell, it seems fairly targeted at those particular
absolutely.
countries. Federally, Congress is considering several proposals seeking to establish a national restriction on certain foreign investments in U.S. land. Recently, the Senate passed an amendment to its version of the bicameral. Did I pronounce that right?
Bicameral.
Like a bicameral.
Yeah.
Stuttgart education.
You're right there.
Version of the Bicameral National Defense Authority Act, or NDAA, which seeks to prevent certain investments in U.S. agricultural businesses and land by, yet again, China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia. This is also being reconciled with the House version of the bill. This issue we're currently active discussing, I think in policy development season again this year.
Yes.
And we'll continue to watch this specifically, or especially if any federal laws are passed or if any new advancements are made here.
Yeah. Well, I know that you didn't list out all 24 states, but Arkansas was one of them.
Yes.
That passed one of these laws this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, be something to watch, especially through our PD process and so on.
Yeah, I'm sure something will come up.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, that kind of wraps us up.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it. That was a long
That's
haul
the end.
right
Let's
there,
wrap this
buddy.
up right now.
Yeah, we'll just close our laptop and get on out of here.
Go ahead and close them.
Mr.
All
Pop-Tart.
good.
Actually, you'd rather us close them, wouldn't you? No cheating.
That's
we
right.
usually don't Google
You don't.
or search.
You don't. I haven't
have
seen
time,
any
really.
eyes darting anywhere or anything. So, but it is. What time is it, boys and girls?
Time for
It's time for.
you to use extra cool voice effects.
There we go. He did it.
Yeah.
It's a highlight of his week. Mine
Yes.
too.
I look forward to it all the time. So
All the time.
Go to
today,
sleep thinking about it.
Practice.
today, campers, we're going to
Okay.
find out if you're smarter than a fifth grader.
Oh, no.
All right.
Good.
Are you ready for question one?
No.
Let's do it. Rip off this Band-Aid.
Let's dive right in. Okay. Color, density, volume, and mass are all properties of blank.
Color, density, and mass.
And volume.
Volume.
All properties of... I don't know that I get the connection.
A gas
It's,
or
liquid.
Matter.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
You see where we're going with all this?
Okay.
So here we go.
Yeah.
Question 2. An electric current is made up of what kind of particles?
Electrons.
Bingo. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Little redemption there.
I'm losing.
All right. What is the name for the scientific study of traits passed down from parents to their children?
Genetics.
Look at there.
We're
Looky
tied.
there.
We're
Looky there.
tied,
Okay. All right. Each of you got one.
Okay.
So, final one. The atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere are ecosystems part of the blank.
You said atmosphere.
The Earth. The sky. Stratosphere. I guess none of those are right.
We're just going to keep guessing. So.
I'm going to assume by his non-response. The solar system.
The biosphere.
Biosphere. The biodome. Biodome.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought my head went right there to bow down the movie.
Pauly Shore.
Wally Shore.
I had a feeling that's where the mind was going to go. So, but
We have shown our
so
age.
you each
Yeah.
got one, and you each lost one. So
Yeah, well,
you're even.
about how it goes.
You're even.
Better than losing,
So-
I guess.
I guess you're even equal with a fifth grader in that regard.
I doubt it.
But anyway.
I don't know about him, but I still need a calculator to do math.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And then I'll probably still get it wrong. All right. Well, that's a Friday show for you. We had Pop-Tarts. We had fun trivia.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
we
too
had
much
everything.
college football.
We didn't.
It hadn't been really good in the state of Arkansas. So.
Yeah, no, it's been tough for both our teams. I'd say all three of our teams. Y'all just happen to root for the same one.
Yep.
All right. Well, that wraps up the news for this week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Remember, you can catch new episodes of the show every Thursday afternoon. Find video episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version wherever you listen to podcasts.
That's it. And make sure to subscribe and leave us a review when you have a few extra minutes. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau. I'm Jason Brown,
I'm John McMinn.
and we'll see you next week.